Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Covert from Symphoria, and I am so excited to be sharing another of our Symphoria community spotlights with you today. I'm sitting down with Kevin Frank, who is the Executive Director of the Brady Faith Center. Kevin, how are you today?
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're so excited to hear about all of the amazing things that the Brady Faith Center has going on. And for those people who are watching who don't know about the Brady Faith Center, why don't you just give us a quick overview of how you serve the Central New York community?
Yeah, sure. So we've actually been around for 75 years, and we started with a pastor named Father Brady, who we're named after. And he had this wonderful vision of, really being on the streets with people and in the neighborhood. So he really saw church as not primarily a place you go to, but a place you come from. And what we say, at Brady is that we never have to wake up, or I never have to wake up and say, what does the next program need to be, or what do we need to be doing? We need to wake up every day and just be in the neighborhood. We need to be alongside our neighbors. We need to be in the streets. We need to be in their homes if we're invited in. We need to be in their parks and in their front yards. And we need to build trust and relationship. There's an old saying, don't just stand there, do something. I kind of like the opposite. Don't just do something, stand there. So,
Hmm.
keep standing alongside people in the South and West Side neighborhoods and build trust and listen. And they'll tell us what we need to be doing for the neighborhood and with the neighborhood. And if we can do it together, we do it. And so we have over 20 programs, and they really stem from neighbors telling us what the neighborhood needs.
I love that so much. And you have something new coming to the neighborhood, so to speak. I think it's been much needed and a long time in coming. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the new market that's opening up?
Sure, yes. Let me just back up a moment. Five and a half years ago, we started a farm, an inner city urban farm. And so it's a 5.8 acre urban farm. And each year we get to produce more and more product on the farm. It's organic practices. It's, obviously fresh and local. And it's just been really, really successful and a wonderful way to bring food access, employment, and food education into our community. And so, building off of that, about 4 years ago, Nojaim Supermarket on the corner of Gifford and West closed down. And that was a tragic blow to the community, a tragic blow on a number of fronts, right? So, one
Hmm.
was, access to healthy and affordable food. So, if you live in that community, and especially if you don't have access to transportation, which a third of that community does not have, then you're forced to, buy your product at drugstores, dollar stores, or corner stores. And the corner stores in our community are not like that in New York City, with filled with wonderful produce and vegetables and fruit. Unfortunately, there's really a shortage or a lack of healthy produce and fruit, and so we just know that that's not okay. It's not okay for
Hmm.
our families not to have access, and so we're going to reopen 8,000 square feet of that grocery store. Paul Nojaim and Nojaim Supermarket was 24,000 square feet. So we're going to have less product, but we're going to have more services. So we're going to be more than a market. And what I mean by that is we're going to have access to healthy and affordable food. We're going to have a job training program with a paying job on day one that leads to a career. And we're going to have access to healing and support services. So every trainee who comes in, who works with us, has access to a case manager, a mentor, learning circles, and therapy if they choose it. So we're going to be a very unique operation. On one side of the refrigerator, you're going to have a grocery store. On the other side, people will be doing fitness classes and Tai Chi and meditation and access to therapy and learning circles. So it's a new model and a new day, and we're very excited to bring it to our community.
Well, that sounds so exciting. And really, how I hear you saying it, it's a place of health and wellness. Come for your food, the nutritious food, and also be nourished in your spirit and in your, in your practical life with the job training. I mean, really, it's a one-stop wellness place, it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to say it. I was I was on George Kilpatrick's show, Inspiration for the Nation, and we were talking about this, and he said, "Oh, instead of Whole Foods, you're a whole person."
That's right. That's right. And I don't know if you know this, but George is a member of our board. And
Oh,
so he's near and dear to our
yeah.
heart, and the Symphoria family. And yeah, I think that it is just going to be such a wonderful addition. So when does this open?
So we're planning a soft opening in mid-May with a grand opening later. So we really, we're all about the neighborhood, and so we want to open up for the neighborhood with the neighborhood, as soon as we can, and we're looking at, possibly mid-May for that.
Wonderful. And you mentioned the farm, the urban farm that you had, and a little bird told me that you have a wonderful CSA program associated with the farm. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture, and people can buy into a box of produce. You can pick how many items you want, and you'll be delivered. That box will be delivered to a location near you for as many weeks as you want. It's usually around 19, 20 weeks. And because we're putting high tunnels up in the farm, which are actually plastic greenhouses, we now have the ability to grow year round.
Oh,
So
wow.
we can be doing CSAs even through the winter, which is very exciting. Currently, we have about 140 CSA customers at our farm, which is amazing. And if you want to find out more about how you can become a CSA member or visit our farm, look us up at bradyfarm.org.
And we'll be sure to include the link in the post that this is in on Facebook. And my question is, if I decide I'm out in Baldwinsville, but if I decide that I would like to do a CSA with Brady, the Brady Farm, is that something that also goes back in to what you were doing? Is that one of the revenue streams that you have to fund your projects?
Oh yeah, so absolutely. We think revenue going back into the neighborhood is really one of the most essential elements of our mission. So in neighborhoods of extreme poverty and generational poverty, it's often the revenue streams that don't stay in the community.
Hmm.
So we're really excited about what we're doing at the farm and the market, and that every dollar spent there stays in the community and programming in the community to
Hmm.
make the community better. So, it's really about investing and adding resource into our communities that are most marginalized and most in need.
I love that so much because for those of us who don't live in those communities, this is still a win-win for us. You get your fresh tomatoes all year long, it sounds like, instead of whatever they're selling at the grocery store that don't even resemble tomatoes in
Right.
winter. And
Right.
you're really, like you say, putting money where it's needed.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful to you for doing that and in just coming in and sharing this information with us. Is there anything else you would love to let people know about the Brady Faith Center and maybe how they could get involved besides going to the market and getting a CSA?
Yeah, the other thing we'll be doing at the Brady Market, which is new, is we're going to be catering.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so if your family is having a graduation party or your business is holding a meeting or a conference, and you're looking, to cater that, please think of us. And we'd love to serve you in that way as well. We're also going to be doing hot foods and hot lunches, kind of scoop and go, a little bit like Chipotle and some of the other places. So you can come in and get a hot meal or a hot dinner. So we're really excited about the hot food area in our store and the catering that we're going to do. So remember us.
Well, and that's such an easy thing. And I can't wait till, one day when I'm at Inspiration Hall for rehearsals or downtown working in the office, I'll pop over for lunch and maybe get some to go for my family too. So Kevin, thank you so much for being here, for doing what you do, for seeing the passion for just being in the neighborhoods. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for the great music and beauty you bring to all of us. We really appreciate your mission as well.
Well, that is our great pleasure.